To Drake, I want to say this Scary Hours edition is A1 for all my dogs. It's A1. That the first other songs you did, you could have kept them, but for the people who grew up on you, the Scary Hours edition, those 5 or 6 songs you did was A1. The reason I'm recording this video because you said a lot of relatable things, right? So you said in a line that I'm always on thin ice with the thick bitch. Nigga, me too. Like, you gotta understand how much that line meant to me when I heard it, because it's like, it sounds simple, but if you're a nigga that's well been out there and you're seasoned, then you understand why that line meant so fucking much, right? We're gonna talk about when I was like 16, 17, 18, 19, around that age, right? So I was dating 2 chicks, right, around that time, and these women were shaped immaculate, chef's kiss type of thick, right? One of them had crazy ass titties. I think she said she was like an H, and the other one had like the track body, like Marion Jones, but ass 10 times bigger. All natural. We in high school type shit, and so I remember like going out with both of them and looking at all the looks and seeing all the looks they would get, and niggas would look at them, women would look at them and stuff like that. But before we get into the story, I'm gonna tell y'all this, fellas. Let me tell y'all the 2 women you definitely want to stay away from. Excuse me. You want to stay away from an ugly bitch that learned how to use makeup. And you want to stay away from a fat bitch that lose weight. Because both of them got low self-esteem. As soon as they figure out how to get attention from men, they're not going to be good people or women to be in a relationships with, because the attention that comes with them, bettering themselves, learning how to use a makeup brush, will make them typically cheat because they never got that attention. And now that you're with them, you're going to feel a ways about them getting that attention, and they're going to feel a ways about getting that attention. So they're going to be out there in the motherfucking streets, right? But let's go back to it. So the one of them that was shaped like Marion Jones, thick as fuck, right? We in the club, right? And we walking through the door, and there's 40 niggas looking at her, 60 bitches looking at her with the stank face, like, ooh, this bitch thinks she all there. And I'm telling you, at this time, I wasn't well seasoned like I am now, so their bodies made me insecure, and I'm okay to admit that I was insecure about those type of women. But typically, the women that I normally date have high self-esteem and never really grew up to where they didn't get attention. So I didn't really have to worry about them garnering attention from other people, and me, worrying about them, getting another nigga again. But at that time, I didn't know, because I knew, I was like, God damn, this bitch ass so fucking big. Drake said another line, said, this bitch so thick, we walk in somewhere and everybody feels uncomfortable. I had to fuck the line up, but it's something like that. And it's like, that's how this bitch ass was. This bitch so motherfucking fine. And like I said, body A1 immaculate, top 10 body I've ever seen. Top 5 body I've ever seen. Right? She's probably like a 6, 7 in looks, but as of course when you get dead up and your motherfucking hair did and shit like that. Back in the day, bitches was wearing micros. That's how old I am. Bitches was wearing micros and shit. So bitches get the micros and all that shit. So they would be cute as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day. So we would go out. The thick bitch, the track body bitch. We would go out. We would do our thing, and I'm just looking at how everybody, old niggas, was looking at this bitch. Like it got so crazy, right? We would be walking down the fucking street, right? And we would cross the street, get ready to cross the street. Niggas would see how thick this bitch was and stop and let us go by so they could watch this bitch ass go across the street. Crazy, dumb, thick ass bitch. I'm talking about this is the days when bitches was small waisted, real small waisted. Like, we ain't had these fat hoes with the fat asses now like we got today. We talking about when bitches was 125, 30 pounds, and they ass was heavier than a motherfucker. I'm talking about big old asses. We ain't talking about these 220-pound bitches with the big ass. Or you supposed to have a big ass, but you big too. Your back wide is all like those. We talking about 130, no bigger than a 145-pound woman. Back in the day when bitches was really fine. These hoes now, they fine because they don't want to let the motherfucking food go. The food and babies is undefeated. That's gonna fuck your body up every time. Bitches be out here blacking their eye all day long and they don't even know why. They out here getting fat, that's a black guy. You out here having a baby by a nigga that don't want you, that's a black guy. But that's another conversation for another day. So that bitch, me and her stopped talking because, like I said, I was insecure. So I'm like, I can't be with this bitch because every time I leave this hoe, I just don't feel like I'm the only nigga talking to her. And it might be because I'm young and dumb and I'm fucking with so many hoes at this time. She has to be doing the same thing because I'm from the belief that if one in a relationship is doing it, they typically both doing it, right? Okay, so the other bitch, right? I talking about she got a H, a motherfucking H, big old titties. I'm talking about stupid big ass titties. I'm talking about big ass titties. So I'm looking at this home, and she always covered up. So when I finally get to talking to her, it's winter time, right? It's motherfucking winter time. So we go to Walmart to grab something, but we going to a football game, and so she's wearing like a turtleneck, covered up, and she's never showing no cleavage. She doesn't have to. This bitch has a motherfucking H on her chest, right? So I'm like, these titties gotta be saggy as fuck, ugly as fuck. But like I said, we young, we in high school and shit like that. So we in the checkout line, and there's this older lady just staring at her titties. I'm talking about just like, beep, beep, beep. I'm talking about, like, look at this bitch titties. So I'm like, damn, like, this bitch titties so fucking big. Every time we go somewhere, everybody be looking at her titties. She just could not hit, right? We get in the truck. We get in my truck. Everybody goes to the game. She just starts breaking down, crying. I'm like, baby, what's wrong? Why you crying? She was like, well, ever since I was a little girl, my breasts have always got me this type of attention, and people just stare and, whoop the whoop. And then she started going into like her childhood stuff and how, older men look at her and stuff. Some people did some stuff to her when she was younger. And, I'm going to be honest. I'm a person that lacks empathy, right? And I also didn't understand the amount of people, guys and women, who were molested as kids, because I had a great childhood. I've never seen that, never heard that until I got older and started dating and started realizing there's a lot of women that was getting fucked, and then started having, more conversation with guys, and they realized they was getting fucked as kids too. But she was having this conversation, and she was like, yeah, stuff happened with Oop. And so, me, I'm trying to fuck. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I'm trying to fuck this bitch. So I'm like, baby, I would never do that to you. Like, you ain't never, ever, 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 ever. Excuse me. You ain't never, ever, 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 ever gotta worry about me doing you like that. But I'm lying like a motherfucker. Like, I don't give a fuck what went on with you when you was younger, because I'm trying to see these big ass titties. So, we vibing and kicking. We have a good time at the game. She invited me back to her house. Her mama is out of motherfucking town and shit like that. So, as we get to kissing and shit like that with her. I never hit her. I never had sex with her. But this night, she let me suck on them big ass titties. I'm talking about these hoes big as fuck and perky. And see, this is why I say, when you young and your youthfulness and shit like that, these titties just sit up so motherfucking right. And I'm sucking on these big motherfucking titties, but I never fucked her because it still was like weird energy because, earlier in the car, and I'm like, I don't want to be an asshole and take this shit too far. But needless to say, we never ended up having sex. After that night, I started talking to somebody else. She got mad at school. She found out about it. Whoop the whoop. So that ended pretty quick. But I still accomplished my goal because I just wanted to see what the titties look like. And they was beautiful fucking breasts, right? And so it's just like, bro, like, thick women sometimes have us men feeling insecure at times, right? And I can, I'm old enough now to name it. Like, I'm pretty sure it's men out there that make women feel insecure because they might be a extremely attractive male. They might have the physique of most men don't have. They might have, a big Peter whacker. You might be insecure about a nigga having a big Peter whacker because I've had, fellas, y'all tell me if y'all ever had a woman ask you this. How many women have you fucked like you fuck me? How many of y'all have had a woman ask you that? Those type of things can make a woman feel insecure because she's like, if this nigga fucking me this good, he obviously, or can't just want to give me this dick to me by myself. He has to spray this motherfucker around because he fucks too good. And typically people that are good at something, they want people to see their talent. Just think about a Michael Jordan or LeBron James just trying to keep that type of talent in the house. And the same thing goes for sex. If you're a person that you know you fuck good, you a bitch, you know you got some good pussy, you a nigga, you got a big ass dick, of course you don't want to keep this talent under wraps. You know what I'm saying? You want somebody to see this motherfucking talent. So sometimes that's what happens with us. We be insecure about other people's shit. Sometimes those people don't even think the way that we think. Sometimes they don't. Most of the time they do. And like I said, I'm just going to tell y'all and be honest. That's why I wrote this, because I'm going to start doing a series of all the lines that Drake say that I relate to, because the Scary Hours edition is relatable to me. And I don't understand why Drake still be making motherfucking songs for white 12-year-old girls in Idaho and shit, and then get mad because he's talking about Black America. I always remind him what his mama look like. Of course, Drake, when you making that bubblegum shit for these white motherfucking kids, when you already got enough fucking fans so what you can drop real music that we can listen to, and you ain't got to worry about trying to get the 12-year-old white girl to listen to this shit, when you can just get the niggas that been rocking with you for the last 15 fucking years. I don't understand what the fuck are you doing, right? But I'm glad you dropped these last 5 or 6 songs, and I got some stories to tell you. I got plenty of stories, and we're gonna start striking this shit up. Y'all stay tuned.